politics in the pulpit. Would anybody agree with that statement? No. Good. So taking in mind, we never talk about politics or religion or politics in the pulpit. Let's turn to the example of the Archbishop of Canterbury, Archbishop Justin Welby. These are some of the newspaper headlines I found just this year. Welby puts pressure on political parties to scrap 2-child limit for benefits. Justin Welby's intervention on migration politics from the pulpit. Justin Welby criticises cruelty and harmful rhetoric of UK asylum policy. So a clear lead from the head of the Anglican Communion of how he responds positively to discussing politics and theology. The next diagram is something that I've just come up with myself. It's got no academic validity, but it certainly seems to strike me that it summed up the relationship between politics and the state with theology and religion. And it's a two-way relationship. Throughout history we've seen how the state has determined what is the official religion, whilst theology and religion also influences the values, ethics and morals of society. But perhaps that's a two-way relationship, because sometimes politicians can dictate what the values and morals are in a society, and equally churches and religion can actually influence what is the religion of the state. So that's just a very quick diagram that I think sums up that interrelationship between state and theology. I don't plan to promote a detailed history review, but there are some key examples that highlight how politics and religion are interrelated throughout history. In the year 1313, Constantine, the emperor at the time, provided for freedom of religion, providing tolerance and extending protection to Christians. And that was followed by Theodosius. He made Christianity the official religion of Rome. And from then, Christianity has spread exponentially. As the Roman Empire has spread, Christianity has travelled with it. There will be other influences on the spread of Christianity, but certainly the spread of the Roman Empire has played a significant part. You'll all be familiar with the Crusades, a series of religious wars initiated by the Pope with the aim of conquering Jerusalem and the surrounding lands from Muslim rule. Perhaps one of the earliest examples of religion influencing politics. And you'll all be familiar with this person, Henry VIII. In the year 1534, Henry renounced papal authority. He was secretly married Anne. He was excommunicated from the Catholic Church, but pushed through the Act of Supremacy. The Act has made him and all of his heirs supreme head of the Church of England, meaning that the Pope no longer held religious authority in England, and Henry was now free to divorce Catherine. And as a result, we have a different relationship with our sovereign. King Charles now holds the title Defender of the Faith and Supreme Governor of the Church of England. This doesn't apply to Scotland, where he's only a member. But the Church of England also acknowledges that the King's Majesty is acting under God and according to law as supreme authority in both ecclesiastical and civil causes. We'll all remember his coronation. These are just some of the oaths sworn by the King. Significant religious focus for the King and his reign. As a result, today we have two established churches. So the term establishment refers to a formal relationship between a church and the state in which it operates. The established church is only the Church of England and the Presbyterian Church of Scotland. The establishment used to entail financial support that would be very handy today, I'm sure, but the church tax was abolished in 1868 and tithing phased out from the year 1936. And the case in 2004 of Aston Candlo highlighted the Church of England as a whole has no legal status or personality. And the relationship which the state has with the Church of England is one of recognition, not of the devolution to it of any of the powers or functions of government. Another example where politics and religion cross over was with the church commissioners. I know the church commissioners are used effectively running the financial resources of the church. They control the historic assets, invested in stock, property, and they produce revenue to support the church's ministry. What I didn't realise was how many politicians actually sat as church commissioners. These include the Prime Minister, and the Home Secretary, the Speaker of the House of Commons, Speaker of State for the Department of Culture, Media and Sport, and 3 nominated by the King. So again, there's great scope for political influence on how the church is run, even in the Church of England today. I didn't realise until I was preparing for today that legislation for consideration of Parliament passes through the General Synod of the Church of England through an ecclesiastical committee of 50 members made up of both members of the House of Commons and the House of Lords. We've also been familiar that there are actually 26 serving bishops sitting in the House of Lords today. The House of Lords has been subject to significant debate, looking to reform the laws and potentially to reduce or totally eliminate bishops sitting in the House. In response, the Archbishop of Canterbury has said that they represent the multi presence of the Church of England in every community. Committed membership in nearly 1 million regular worshippers, and bishops' personal access to spreads very far and wide. And as a result, it makes a significant contribution to the House. But I think probably the Archbishop of Canterbury is at odds with the views of the secular world. The Electoral Reform Society says the place of law spiritual is anachronistic, it's outdated, and an acceptable solution to difficulty deciding which faith and dominations to include and not include, and actually supporting an end to the automatic provision of legislative seats to bishop. It'll be interesting to see what develops from that. And the National Secular Society, as the name suggests, is also opposed to the bishops sitting in the Lord. That these privileges remain largely unchanged, despite the massive continuing reduction in support for the Church in the UK. And the continuation as the established Church is unsustainable. No doubt this debate will not go away, and again, the role of religion and politics is likely to be addressed. How much influence do clergy actually have today in an increasingly secular society? Certainly if you look back probably to the 18th and even 19th century, the clergy played a prominent role in the local community, often sitting, for example, as justices of the peace. They were listened to, they were respected, everybody attended church, a very different position to where we now sitting today. So even if we are going to address politics in our churches, are people going to be listening to us? And are there any people in the church to listen anyway? Some of the secular views being represented. The Church in Wales is in a different and unique position. The Church of England became the established church in Wales following the Act of Union between England and Wales in 1536. The calls for disestablishment have increased. In the 1800s, we had the growth of non-conformity. At the time, 52% of the Welsh population attended church, of whom 78% were non-conformists or dissenters, and only 21% of the population Anglicans. Other influences on the calls for disestablishment included a disestablishment in Ireland in 1871. In 1888, the Local Government Act removed Anglican or English involvement in local government in Wales. A Welsh Church Suspension Bill was introduced in 1893, and Welsh Church Acts for 1914 and 1919 passed. The implementation, however, was delayed because of the First World War. Subsequently, disestablishment did take place. The representative body established by Royal Charter in 1919, and in 1922, the Church in Wales adopted a written constitution. But some of the ecclesiastical laws in England continue to apply to churches in Wales. Most notably, these are marriage law and burial law. They carry forward. And calls are still being made today for full disestablishment of the Church in Wales in line with the original intention of the 1914 Act as the most sensible solution to overcome the current difficulties which the uneven way in which lawmaking affects the Church in Wales. That is the most recent update. Watch this space. We've certainly seen the Welsh Assembly government being implemented and taking forward significant changes in Wales, and I'm sure changes will continue in the future.